Good. We're getting a few more people on. Welcome, you guys. We're gonna get started probably in a few more minutes, so just hang out with us for a while. And I think we'll probably start right at about 6:40. We'll give people a little bit more time to get on.
So when you fly to Jamaica, do you have a stopover in Dallas or Miami?
That's the thing. I want to talk with you privately, maybe afterwards about that, because I looked up some of the flights. They go through New York, Miami, Atlanta. Nothing goes through Texas. I wish it would go through Texas. I don't really want to fly across the country just to backtrack, right? It's just, but
Right, right.
yeah, I guess there must be a large Jamaican population in New York because they're all flights go through New York or Atlanta or Miami, right? And so,
Yeah. There's
um,
actually a Jamaica, New York.
oh, there, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll just have to find a flight that works best for everybody. But
Uh,
yeah, that was a challenging part. Hmm.
yeah, I'm blessed. We have direct flights from if I'm in Chicago,
Yep.
that's where I live. And then in the winters I'm here in Florida. So
Okay.
both are straight shot. So
Oh, really? So they have nonstop from Chicago straight to Jamaica.
yeah.
And you fly into Kingston, or where are you flying to?
We'll go to Montego Bay.
Montego Bay. So that's the flight that I should be looking for, the Montego Bay.
Hmm.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, I'll search that one. All right. Well, it's just about 9 after. I told people to come on at 6:30, but I just want to welcome you guys all for just being here tonight. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Mason Lee. I'm a practicing oral surgeon here in Marin County, just slightly north of the Golden Gate Bridge. I also happen to be the Christian Medical and Dental Association's campus advisor, a voluntary position. I've been doing this since like 2010. I've brought many a dental student down to Haiti with me to do some short-term missions trip during their spring breaks back in 2012 to 14. I'm pretty familiar with UCSF. I went to medical school there, did my oral surgery training there, and been in private practice now for 25 years. Gosh, it's a long time. It goes by fast.
Wow.
But yeah, I wanted initially to go around to have everyone introduce themselves, but just for sake of time, I'm going to skip over that. You guys can just write your names in the Zoom screens and your year in school. So I just want to maximize the time we have with Dr. Carney. I know he's in Florida right now, so thank you for staying up so late. There's I think the 3 hour time difference, so thank you for being on with us. But I'm kind of excited to hear him speak tonight. But believe it or not, it's kind of funny, guys. It's the first time I've met Dr. Carney live in person like this, or through Zoom, so to speak. I've heard a lot about him in the dental clinic. We have a mutual friend, a Dr. Bill Griffith, who Dr. Griffith's gone with me down to Haiti many a times. He's gone with Dr. Carney down to Jamaica. And Dr. Griffith's only had positive things to say about this clinic in Jamaica, how they actually have a sterilizer, they have chairs, they have functioning vacuums and air compressors. And I'm just so used to like a patio chair and a flashlight and a bucket to
Uh-huh.
spit in, right? So this is like modern technology down in Jamaica. So I'm excited to hear him talk, and I'm going to pass the time over to him. I'm excited to hear what he's going to talk about, what God's doing in his life, and why he started this clinic, and how we as students and doctors can go support his clinic down in Jamaica. So I'm going to pass it over to you. And once Dr. Carney's done with his presentation, we'll have some time for question and answers at the very end. So passing it off to you, Jim.
Okay, good. Well, it's my privilege. I love to work with students. This is my passion for the past 29 years. Really, I got the bug in dental school, and then I got to go on my first mission, maybe a couple years out of dental school, and I did a lot of the uh, portable stuff, and it's hard on your back and your butt, and lugging this stuff back and forth. So I thought I got to send some permanent chairs down here. And little by little, I've acquired chairs and compressors and vacuum pumps and x-ray machines. So I've gotten setups in 8 different locations in Jamaica, but the one we'll be going to is the biggest one. It has 8 permanent dental chairs. We have central suction, as well as the Venturi suction, which you've used, I'm sure, at each chair. Lights, for the most part, unless you have a power cut, which is often the case. Um, we have a real sterilizer, Panorex machine. We have digital x-rays too now. And I've trained some of the locals to do our x-rays. So you want to see if the guy's got a impacted wisdom tooth or something, we send him back to Buki and he'll take care of the x-ray for you. So it's a beautiful clinic, wonderful people there. And that's why we keep going back. It's a safe place to go. I have taken my wife, she's a dentist also, and my two kids. I've taken them since they were 8 years old and 6 years old. And now they're both dentists practicing and married to dentists. So there's just something in the blood, in the water, I guess, at our house that leads people to want to be dentists. But it actually was the mission trips that these girls went on with us that led them into dentistry. I didn't drag them into the office on Saturdays or anything like that. They just felt that they could help people and wanted to be part of it. And they've been a blessing. So anyway, let's see, we have a nice clinic. We stay in nice accommodations. People always ask, where do you stay? We have villas that we rent that are right near the ocean. Some of them are right on the ocean. Most of us will have a bed, or some people will have an air mattress, but it's comfortable. You have, we'll wake up in the morning and have a nice breakfast. The ladies cook for us. So we have papaya and mango and pineapple, and we'll have some pancakes and French toast. And so we're well fed and the accommodations are nice. I'm sure Dr. Lee has probably slept on sleeping bags and on the hard floors. That's how I started out too. And I just thought, man, if I can make this any easier for the volunteers, I certainly want to do that. So we have, most people will say the accommodations are, if you look at some of the reviews, they like the food, they like the accommodation, and the people that we treat are just humble. As you know, dentistry can be very expensive, not only in the United States, but even down there. And when you have a couple little hungry mouths at home to feed, you're not going to spend, 4-6 months salary on your dental care. And as Dr. saw, I'm sure in Haiti, they're just people who just can't care for their teeth like we do here. So we see a lot of extractions, and we're doing more restorative and preventive, do some cleanings, extractions, and we even do root canals down there now too. So we have a partnership with the American Association of Endodontists Foundation, who sends a couple of their endo residents and a mentor to do root canals. So people, their dental IQ in this little neighborhood is really improved, because it used to just be all extraction. And then we say, hey, we can save those teeth. Let's try to patch you up. No, I heard fillings are bad. No, they're good. I mean, you don't want to lose that tooth. You need it. Anyway, we talk a lot of people into saving their teeth. And now they come in for asking for filling. And some of them even want to ask for root canal. So it's really kind of a neat progression that we have seen in Hopewell. It's called Hopewell. It's on the south coast of Jamaica, 2.5 hours from the Montego Bay Airport. So on a typical week, we would fly in on Saturday, get in around 1 o'clock. You get the rental cars and you get have a little bite to eat. And then we travel 2.5 hours across the island to the south coast, which is Treasure Beach area. And the particular town where our clinic is called Hopewell in St. Elizabeth. And then we usually get in at night and have a nice lobster salad dinner waiting for us. And then the typical week is, that would be Saturday. Sunday, then we typically go to a local waterfall. It's kind of a nice team building experience where you get to know the doctors and the students, and everybody gets to enjoy nature a little bit. And then we'll do a little setup Sunday evening, afternoon in the clinic so that we can be ready to go on Monday. Monday, we would get up, have breakfast at 8 a.m., have our devotion time at 8:30, which is a 10-15 minute presentation of a gospel message. We are there really in Christ's name, sharing the salvation message of Jesus to not only the patients, but also the team members. We like to share. And then we'll head off to the clinic after devotion. And then it's about 25-minute drive from the coastal areas where we stay. And then Pastor Rose, she's a female pastor, she will give us another devotion where it's kind of neat. We sing and we pray with the patients. There may be 100, 180 patients there waiting. As you know, doctor, they hear the dentist in town, they just line up starting at 2, 3 in the morning, and they're going to wait till the cows come home to get their treatment done. So we try to get there soon, but then we do our devotion. So we pray with the patients, let them know who we are. We're there for the purpose we're doing there and who you all are. And it's kind of neat way to start the day in prayer and asking for God's grace on our treatment and healing for the patients through our procedures. So then we would work in the clinic at 8 chairs we have permanent. And then if we have a bunch of more students, we can expand to the church right next door for another 10 portable dental chairs. And they're nice dental units, and they're just, fold up chairs, kind of like the lawn chair, but they have a nice cush to it. So we can have 18 dental chairs going all at once. So doctor, you would just let me know how many students we have, how many stations you want, how many assistants, and then I would just set up the accommodations and the transportation, the food, and then we would make sure we had all the dental chairs ready to go. There may be some setup in the church, as you know, because you got pews on Sunday, so we would do a little bit of that on Monday. So the typical day is like that: Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then we break down Thursday, and Friday we take a little nature boat ride along the coast, and then we go up in this, it's called the Black River, where they have crocodiles. So you can see some crocodiles, and then we have a little shore lunch that we go up the river and we take a swim, not near the crocodiles, but up further. It's kind of a neat little swimming hole for the locals. So we are able to get under this low bridge because we have fishermen boats, and we go up there and just hang out with the locals and just enjoy a day of relaxation and fun in Jamaica. And then we get home, and actually we stop also on the way back. There's a little bar restaurant out in the middle of the ocean. It's on a sandbar. It's called Pelican Bar, and we just stop there. It's one of the 10 most unique bars in the world. So it's always kind of a fun stop on the way. And then we get back and enjoy the afternoon at the villa, which has the typical villa where most of us will stay has 2 bedrooms, but they allow us to put some air mattresses here and there, so we can put 6, 8 people in each of these villas. And there's a swimming pool right on the ocean, so it's very nice accommodations. And then we also have to rent a couple other villas nearby, but that would be our headquarters. Called Sparkling Waters. It's beautiful, and the ladies, then we have cooks and who watch over the homes, and they just are like little mothers, like den mothers. They just take such good care of us. Any problem you have, they make sure that you're comfortable. Most of our procedures are extraction, a lot of oral surgery, and now when they find out Dr. Lee's coming, they're going to send all their wisdom teeth our way. But we do, a lot of the local Jamaicans are just, the Jamaica dentists are kind of sending their wisdom teeth to us because they know we'll do it. And it's not something they want to tangle with. So that's why we have our Panorex machine. We can do that. So it's a great experience. Typically in Jamaica, when the people go to a government clinic, they'll take out one tooth at a time. So they don't make appointments. They just have to go and wait. And it can be exhausting trying to get in. Even the government, our friend from the government, just to get a PA x-ray, she has to travel around and wait. So our clinic is pretty high tech for this area. We have the only panoramic x-ray in this whole region. So it's nice, it's comfortable. The clinic is good, very well equipped. We have a lot of oral surgery forceps, sutures. I try to make sure all the anesthetics is there, all the analgesics are there for you, that you have to just bring minimal stuff. I would probably give you a list maybe a week before you go of, you may have to bring some peanut butter or something like that. So I have a standard list of things that I would send out maybe a couple weeks before. And then if I needed you to bring some patient napkins or something, I would just order it and send it to one of the student leaders and have you transport it down there. But I try to minimize your hassles in custom. So I wouldn't have you take many pharmaceuticals. So I would try to get all that through, because that can be kind of hairy. Like I said, I've been doing this for 29 years. When I was practicing, I loved it so much. I did it 1 year, one time, and then I said, I can't go another year without doing this. So I started going twice a year. Then I did it every quarter, and then 4 times a year. And I noticed it didn't affect my practice production. In fact, at the end of the year, my production would have gone up. And I'm not real smart with numbers, but I just realized that it was just God kind of saying thanks. It was a blessing. And it was a blessing in so many other ways, just loving on these people, taking care of them in Christ's name. I did meet Dr. Griffin years and years ago, and we've done several mission trips together, and he's led team. Cool thing is, a lot of times students will be the student liaison, and then they end up graduating, going on, and then bringing their own teams too. So we have a lot of activity in this clinic, and it goes on even when I'm not there. We just had a team from Florida, was just there last week, team of 40. Had 40 people. So we had everybody going in the church. They did root canals, and because there was an endodontist leading the team. So, pretty much great experience clinically, cross-culturally, and spiritually. It's a life-changing week where you just pour out yourself and give. It's tiring, but as doctor can attest, you get back and you just feel so blessed to have been God's hands and feet here on earth for so many people. So I hope that's a adequate summary. I don't know. I can take questions or whatever you like.
Yeah, that's great. No, thank you for giving us story. So it sounds like the clinic can have 8 chairs that's permanent, right? And so if we only bring down a small number of students, will you be able to have another dental school come down at that? Because I think I scheduled with you March 23rd or whenever the spring break was for UCSF, that week of March 23rd to the 28th or whatever, something like that. Would you have 2 schools there, or how would you work that out?
We can. Sometimes I have 2 students from Marquette and 10 from Texas. I don't know what it all depends on what you guys like. Some schools, like I just had one, they just wanted to have it their own school. So I have to respect that, because sometimes, my thinking is, you could trade notes and how you guys teach in this school. But I think they like to kind of keep it their own little family experience. So I respect that. And in March 23rd, we haven't had any other requests. So it would be all UCFF. Some of the spring breaks of March 9 to 16. And Yours is just, and then I have one in April, but I can also, another, if you wanted, we could also team up with the Jamaica Dental School,
Mm,
because they've come over and they have some, it's a meager supply that they have. I mean, they don't have much anesthetic. So these kids are trying to fulfill their requirements and they have to go out and buy their own anesthetic so
mm.
they can treat their patients. So it's, when they come to our clinic, the dean kind of comes and he helps them fulfill some of the requirements of their experience. So we could always get 10 Jamaica dental students.
Hmm. Okay, that's
Come.
great. No, and that actually reminds me of a time when I went down to Haiti, and of all the things I forgot to pack, I forgot to pack local anesthetic. I'm like, I'm dead in the water. I can't do oral surgery. So I went to like some Haitian dental office, and also I'll buy all the local anesthetic because I need it for the week. And she gladly sold it to me. When I got to the clinic and started giving blocks, I'm like, this stuff's not working. What's going on? I looked at the expiration date on these things. It expired 8 years earlier. They were using
Oh,
expired lidocaine. I'm like, no
oh.
wonder my blocks aren't working. So, moral of the story: bring lidocaine. If you don't have lidocaine, you're dead in the water. So, I appreciate you giving us a packing list. We'd be glad to help try to supply the clinic with gloves or napkins or whatever you need to try to get this clinic supplied. I'm sure it's going through a lot of disposable supplies, and getting that down there is kind of a hassle. But with each group coming down, I'm sure you can bring some stuff down along the way. So that's great. Do you mind if I ask you this? Because I'm sure a lot of students would want to know, is this trip really expensive, right? Because they've all got tuitions to pay and
Yeah.
loans to pay back. And how have other student groups done it before in terms of raised money? Have they kind of gone together to raise the funding together, or can you give us some thoughts of what it's going to cost them?
Hmm. Well, in addition to your airfare, it's a $900 mission trip fee, which covers your on island in island transportation, your food, your lodging, all the dental supplies and equipment that will be used for $900. And people have raised money from their local, well, their families,
Hmm.
their local dental supply companies, their local dental society. They've given talks. I had some guys, I mean, dental societies, they're looking for young people who are getting out in the field where they can't, and they just write a check for $1,000 for these two students in Iowa. They had no trouble. In fact, my wife and I early on set up like a scholarship fund to help students. I think we put, this is 29 years ago, I think we put like $5,000 in there just to help offset some of the expenses. And really, nobody even asked for it. I think we helped a few, but for the most part, these kids were able to raise money. They had fundraisers, bake sales, whatever they wanted. Because the neat thing we learned from that is it's a blessing for other people to be able to bless you with this experience. And they would say, I can't go on this, but I can send you $100. I can help with your trip expenses. So family and friends were just thrilled to follow you and support you in that manner.
Great. I think that's great. Yeah, I think sending out a lot of letters to friends, family, I'm sure they're more than willing to support you. $20 here, $40 there, it all kind of adds up in the end. But if it becomes a major hardship for a lot of the students, there's plenty of doctors, a lot of colleagues that I work with who are more than willing to help mentor and help support students. So I don't think the cost of going should really scare you off in terms of the ability to come down. Because just like Dr. Carney said, I think the experience is just invaluable to be in a country, be in a place where they really do value you being there, right? Even as students, your ability to help with hygiene or giving blocks, or just the mere fact that why would students even come down to this country to even spend their spring break when they can be doing anything else in life, would come down. We're just so grateful, right? I think that's what you get from it all. So
Mhm.
I wouldn't, if you're worried about the finances, please don't be. There's ways around it that we can work around. So don't let that be the major hindrance. So,
For
um,
sure. In fact, I even have, well, we help we still help students. And I have a friend who said, if you ever have a student who can't make it, just let me know. I'll cover them. So there are ways. There's a lot of ways that God will provide. That's for sure.
So I'm just going to take from the group that we have here. Are there any other questions that you guys have just about the experience? Safety issues? Are your parents going to be worried about you going to another country? That's you don't know anything about. Any questions you guys can ask Dr. Carney right now?
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of just curious because I will start to enter clinic officially in March. Like, what could I do? Could I do the hygiene? Could I do like I don't know the limitations of someone like me where I don't necessarily have all of the clinical skills. Yeah, I don't know if you could talk about that at all.
Oh,
Or
you
like
were
what my
cutting out.
limitations would be or things like that. Like I know other people have talked about like, oh, you could be trained on extractions and do that. I don't know if that's ethical. Like I don't know where the boundaries lie.
Mm.
So your first, you said you're starting some kind of a clinic in March. What was it?
Yes. So I'm just like working on fellow classmates right now, and then I'll kind of start doing my first fillings and thing in March.
Oh, yeah. D2s are, you can do, you'll probably do some surgical extractions by the
Okay.
end of the week. You do, and it all depends. Each team's different. Sometimes you may do operative in the morning and oral surgery in the afternoon. Say we have 16 students. You may put 2 on the filling chair all day, and then they rotate. So the 4 days you would have done fillings for 1 day and 3 days of surgery. Everybody needs their teeth cleaned down there. But what I've been doing, because it can bog you down, if you have 120 patients who need fillings and extractions, and then you got another 60 who want cleaning. So what I've been doing is getting the local dental hygiene school to come over maybe the week before, a week after, and just to knock out a bunch of those trophies. Because, your skills are probably more beneficial to do the surgical portion than the operative, and they can handle the rest. Unless you have a perio interest or something like that, I mean, we could always accommodate that. And there's, when I say that, then there's still going to be 15 people who we do their cleanings. So there's, we try to, but you would be D2s. I think even, I mean, off the record, D1s probably have done a few and even pre-dents, I mean, but that's off the record. So D2, you would definitely be doing some operative, which would be a great, you've done blocks on your friends and now you can perfect that. And then you can also do a bunch of operative. We usually mostly composites, but
Okay.
we have amalgam down there. And then we do a bunch of extractions. And then, depending on how doctor sees your skill level and your progression, you probably would likely be involved in some surgical extractions and suturing and the
Mhm.
whole.
Yeah, Emma, it just kind of depends on really, I mean, in the trips that I've gone to and I've worked with students, I basically let the students do whatever they kind of want to do. They're never really alone because I'm always standing in back, hovering over you, making sure you guys are comfortable. I never put you in a position where you would not feel comfortable. If you don't feel comfortable, you can call me, you can call Dr. Carney, Dr. Lynn if he goes down, and Aria. I mean, they're here. There are other doctors there who will help support you. So if you don't feel comfortable doing something, just ask. But really, it's your learning experience. There's nothing necessarily ethical about having a D2 give a block. I mean, yeah, I think that's okay. But yeah,
Okay.
you're not alone. So yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Good question. Good question.
Any other questions, guys? Anyone else have anything concerning about the trip?
I guess when do you need like final numbers by and things like that, like logistics?
Good. Okay, so March 23rd. So how many months are we away?
We're about 4 out.
Yeah.
4 out. So I would like, I mean, they like to have all the paperwork because we have to fill out registration paperwork for Jamaica to get our work permits, and the dental council has to approve our trip. I like to have that, 60 days ahead, and then your final payment 30 days. So I would say we should have our number. Well, I mean, could we have the final number 3 months out? So in a month from now, say, what is it, November?
So like first week of December, first or second week of December.
Yeah. What
Okay.
will do you have finals week or something like? When's your finals?
Yeah, finals on the 15th, I think.
Well, I mean, I think you guys can just at least start thinking about it for the next 3 weeks or 4 weeks, and then I'll probably send out an email to you guys to get maybe a more firm commitment, just so that they can plan the logistics of getting the paperwork on the Jamaica side, and then also looking into airfares and stuff. I think that'll be key too, just to find some airfares that'll get us there.
Mhm.
Because normally what I would probably do is you guys get done with your finals and go on spring break like Friday. So I would look for a flight that leaves Friday evening from San Francisco. And there's no direct flight. You'd have to stop off somewhere in like Florida or Atlanta or somewhere, and then fly back down to Jamaica. So it's like a 12-hour journey. So we probably wouldn't even get into Montego Bay until like 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock the next day, Saturday, right? So it's a long travel day. And then another 2-hour drive. Sorry, guys, 2-hour drive to where we're going. So it's a long travel day. So that's what I'm going to be looking for air flight wise. And then it sounds like, James, people leave Saturday then? Is that what happens? They leave Saturday morning? What time do you guys back to the airport at Saturday?
Depending on the flights. I
Okay.
mean, usually we leave the villa. We have breakfast at 6:37 and then take off 7:30 or 8. Get
Okay.
back to the airport by 10:30 for maybe 12:30, 1 o'clock flights.
Okay, so I should be looking for like 12 or 12 or 1 o'clock flights leaving there to go back to SFO.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. All right. That's good to know.
Yeah, early afternoon arrival and early afternoon departure.
Okay. I will target those times then. Okay.
But
So
I mean, if it's exorbitant and you want to stay till 3, I mean, by all means do that.
okay. Okay, so I will look into those places. But yeah, so if you guys can, if you pass it on to your classmates, just tell them, think about it. We need kind of a little bit of a hard commitment by the first or second week of December. I think would be reasonable. It gives you about 4 months to think about it. Maybe talk to your family about it, parents, if they're okay with you guys going down on this trip and stuff like that. So
Your Christmas present.
was it? There you go.
Do you have any example letters that people have sent to like dentists and stuff asking for support? Like with more of the information of it and like the name of the clinic and things?
Yeah,
Like good that we could use?
Boy,
I'm gonna send over what Jim sent me. He sent me a PDF file. I'll see if I can email that to you guys. But it gives the name of the clinic, and it's like a PDF document that you guys can look through, that your parents can look through too.
yeah, but if you need, I can help with a letter too. I'm sure I've had that. I haven't. It's probably on one of my old computers, but we certainly can help with a letter explaining what it is. Do you have the? Yeah, you have the description of the clinic and the itinerary and everything.
Correct. I have that PDF file that you sent.
Okay.
You're talking about that stuff, so I can send that. But if,
Yeah.
if I'm not actually wants like a sample letter on how to send to friends and family, it's always a tricky thing asking people for money. I know this because my own son, for his college, he went down to Mexico to build homes, and they give him like a template letter to send out to all their friends and family, and he raised this whole like $1,200 funds in like 4 days. So I mean, it's pretty easy. It's not that hard to get friends and family to donate a little bit along the way. Your grandmother will donate, your uncles and aunts will donate, and so yeah, so it shouldn't be too hard. But yeah,
And people want to help.
yeah.
You probably, doctor, probably have had patients. I mean, because in my practice, you'd come in and you'd see some Jamaica pictures. I mean, there was a lot of Jamaica stuff in my office, and they're like, "How can I help? Can I help pay for anesthetic or lights or?" And so they'd write a check for $100. Just unsolicited. Or I even had five of my patients would go with me on trips.
Mm.
There were engineers and actually more than five, but non-dental people. They said, "How can we come down and sterilize?" So I had a couple of these guys would come, and as soon as we get up to the mountain, that's where we were going, they would start taking apart the sterilizers, making sure they're all working, and everybody had their own little niche. But it was kind of cool to share this with non-dental people too. Some of your parents maybe dental, and it's kind of fun to share that with you.
Yeah. Well, what I'll do, Emma, is I'll try to send out like a Google spreadsheet, and if people are interested, they can sign their names on it and give me their emails and contacts, and just start passing along the Google for you guys to collaborate and fill in it for people who are interested and committed, and I'll just kind of follow up with that. So I'll shoot that out to the students, and let other students get into that document, and they can put their names on if they're interested. So anything else, you guys? Any other questions out there for Dr. Carney?
I was wondering if we were wanting to just get to know the local community a little bit more before we go down there, understand their culture better. Are there any resources that you recommend for us to check out?
Hmm. Well, you mean like a travel blog or something like that?
Yeah, I guess so.
I had some of the last students made an Instagram, which shows it does show pictures of the food and the villas and the clinic. That might help. Um, let's see. You guys could probably help me share this Instagram post, right?
Does your clinic have a Facebook site or a Instagram site for the clinic itself at all? Or no?
Not really. Not no. It's
We'll have to start one for you guys. You need social
yeah.
media to be present. There are some YouTube videos out there about the clinic. I've looked that up, so I've seen some of the videos. So yeah.
I don't know where Instagram is. I'll try to. I'm sorry. Oh, here we go. So how would I?
You can send it to me if you want to send me a link to the Jamaica Instagram. I can forward it to them too. But I mean, the language that's spoken in Jamaica is English, right? In Haiti,
Yeah,
it was French Creole, so you'd always have translators everywhere. But at least in Jamaica, everyone speaks English, so that makes it a ton easier to communicate with your patients and pray with them if you want to. So that's nice. So
right. And they do have a local dialect, patois. So that's kind of fun. You'll get to learn a couple Jamaican phrases. Yeah. Okay. I have that video. Let's see here. How can I share it?
you can either send it to me through email, and I can maybe pass it on to them, to the students.
All right. Yeah, I'm not real good to share social media. I'm sorry, but let's see. Snapchat, Facebook. Share to, would that be it? Share to. Oh, here we go. I'm getting there, guys. I'm a better dentist than I am a social guy. Airdrop. Okay, here it comes.
Airdropping.
What's
Let's
the
see.
name? No, I'm going to send it to you. Go. Subject. Oh, let's see. Instagram. There we go. Instagram post. Yeah, there's a picture of the food. Oh, you're going to love it. And the ride to the clinic. Yeah. Oh, and the waterfall. So it's kind of, she made a whole week Instagram post.
Oh, I see it. Okay. I will forward this, guys, to you later. I have it back. Let me cut and paste it right now. Anyway, any other questions you guys have for Dr. Carney? Because I don't want to keep him up too late. It's 3 hours ahead in Florida, so
Oh, it's all right. This is
I
my
want the
pleasure.
man to get his sleep. So yeah. Any other
I
questions?
don't have any, but I do have to run. I just wanted to say thank you so much. I'll send this out to everyone, but I'm very excited.
Fantastic. Well, thank you again, Dr. Carney, for coming on board, and I will be in touch with you as time goes on, and I'll kind of give you the heads up on the head count moving forward. But thank you again for coming on it and joining us today.
Yes. How many would you anticipate? Because I will probably start making the arrangements.
I'm hoping to bring down 2 doctors with us, maybe Dr. Lynn and possibly Aria Lee, if she can get time off from her work.
Great.
And whatever students are available. So there'll hopefully be at least 3 doctors, and then whatever amount of students want to come down. And if no other dental school is signed up, then maybe we could mix in with the Jamaican students, however they want to do that. But I think, again, we'll hopefully get a better count in about 3 or 4 weeks when people think about it and a little bit more. So
Would UCLA have the same dental?
it's a good question. I'd have to see their academic calendar and see when they are getting off. At least I know the D1s and D2s are off that week. It's a little bit harder for the D3s and 3/4s because their spring breaks are staggered. Half of them are on our spring break, the other half is the week after. But it might be just a matter of flip-flopping and asking the clinic director if they can just flip-flop and have their spring break earlier than later. Hopefully it might be as simple as that. I don't know. But yeah, so we'll have to see with the D3 and D4s how their clinical rotations go. So
Well, I'll bet you can put together the dream team right there at UCSF.
well, we will try to put together a dream team as much as we can. We'll see what we can come up with.
Okay.
But again, thank you for your time. Thank you guys for coming on board, and we'll be in touch with you guys. Okay. All right. You guys all have a good night. All right. Bye bye.
All right. God bless you all.
All right.